All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We got another OTA Day 1 Jacksonville Jaguar video. We got a bunch more clips. We mainly talked about Travis Hunter in part 1 earlier today, but we got a bunch of new clips here on the screen here. Right tackle Anton Harrison just drilling his pass set and hand placement. And I want to talk a little bit about, the offensive line. I got a comment on our video earlier today saying, how bad the Patrick McCarry move was at right guard. He was the worst Ravens offensive player, I think offense or defensive player, the worst rating on the entire Baltimore Ravens of last season. Sometimes you have bad seasons. Brand new right guard Patrick McCarry from Baltimore is usually a very solid pass blocker, just like he was last season. Sometimes a little bit inconsistent with rush blocking, but we're going to talk about that in one more clip. Let's get to it because we have to talk about right guard or starting left guard this upcoming season, rookie Wyatt Millam out of West Virginia University. Let's get to it. This is just a picture. I couldn't find any Wyatt Millam snaps from today at OTAs, but I do just want to say a couple of quick comments. First off, the new offensive line is much different than it was last season. Even looking at left tackle, Cam Robinson, obviously not a member of Jacksonville anymore. Your starting left tackle is going to be Walker Little. I'm so glad. He played like 49% of your offensive snaps last season, and this guy is the future at left tackle. Your right tackle, Anton Harrison. These guys are young. They're talented, very good group of tackles. You have left guards right now. Ezra Cleveland's penciled in as a starter. I think Wyatt Millam is going to overtake him because the dude was an absolute stud at WVU. He played tackle. They're going to move him inside. He's extremely versatile. I really like it. And then with Robert Hainsey, I understand a little bit of skepticism, but at the end of the day, the Jaguars' offensive line is way better than it was this time last season. Let's get to more clips. As here we have Trevor Lawrence in the scramble drill, touchdown to Parker Washington in the end. This is a nice little play here. He's going against no defense. I don't care. Basically, right now, Trevor Lawrence is kind of getting a little bit ragged on Twitter right now because today he threw 2 interceptions. Also, Nick Mullins threw one. John Wolford also threw one. There were fumbles by Nick Mullins and Bashal Tutton that we'll talk about in a clip at one point in this video. But this is day 1, right, for Trevor Lawrence post off-season surgery. So I don't care if some spirals are a little bit shaky. I don't care if accuracy is a little bit of an issue in day 1 of OTAs, aka his first day back throwing against, I don't care, there's no defense here. First day throwing. All right, so apparently there were also a lot of drop balls and some overthrows to clean up. We'll keep an eye on it, but it's OTAs day 1 of Trevor Lawrence. I get it, the jury seems to still be out with a lot of Jags fans out there right now, and I get it. I'm a little bit bigger on him, but I'm biased. I'm a Packers fan. I don't have any skin in the game with the Jacksonville Jaguars necessarily, but I truly do think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a bounce-back season, a 2022 season this upcoming year with Liam Cohen. We talked about that earlier today, but let's look at some more clips. All right, guys, in our last clip, I mentioned that Bashal Tutton had a fumble today at practice, and this is a quote right now from Liam Cohen. He says this exact quote. On Tutton. He put the ball on the ground today. That kind of stands out. Good learning experience. First time in a live setting in the National Football League on your first carry. Hopefully you learn something from that moment. So, this is something we really talked about a couple of videos ago, talk about Jacksonville, because Tutton is the dude, or Tootin. He's so fast. He posted the fastest 40-yard dash of any back in this year's class at 4.32. I think he fits very well in Jacksonville with Liam Cohen here. The only concern that you have to have with this 4th-round rookie out of West Virginia is his ball security. All right, he fumbled 9 times over the past 2 seasons. If that doesn't improve, literally immediately, it doesn't need to be day 1 of OTAs. It doesn't even need to be in OTAs, but definitely by the time the season comes around. I know he's playing behind ETN and Bigsby. Also, keep in mind, this guy is a beast in special teams if they want to deploy him there. But if you're dropping balls, if you're fumbling in OTAs, you're not going to see the field as a rookie. So I know he's kind of got a difficult climb in the running back room. So his best opportunity to get on the field this upcoming season would be special teams. But 9 fumbles over the past 2 seasons, that's not the best. So once again, very good in the receiving game. He's produced just under 3,000 all-purpose yards in the last 2 years at Virginia Tech, so I'm still very hopeful on Tootin, but I wasn't thrilled that he was already fumbling day 1. Here we go. This is a quick little clip here of Devon Hamilton, Eric Armstead, and Travon Walker practicing shedding and replacing. Not too many new faces on the defensive line for Jacksonville. I'm still so big on Walker. I'm sure Jags fans are as well. 10.5 sacks this last season, really came alive at various points in the second half. But that defensive line remains very similar. Jacksonville last year was not a very good defensive team, but most of their issues came in the secondary. You saw it in free agency right out of the gate with Eric Murray picking up, Jordan Lewis picked up from the Cowgirls, and then also the draft pick of not only Travis Hunter, but Caleb Branshaw as well. And so the pass defense was the biggest concern, or the biggest flaw with Jacksonville's defense last year. Kind of similar to the offensive line, in my opinion, with this take here. It's the offensive line has so many new faces, a lot of moving parts. I think a lot of offensive and defensive line, I think a lot of trenches come down to coaching. And so specifically with the offensive line, but the D-line in this clip as well, I'm very hopeful that this new coaching staff in Jacksonville is going to clear up some of the issues, some of the just like the small little issues, whether it's timing, chemistry, you name it. I'm just hoping that new coaching staff comes in here, clears it all up, because that D-line is extremely talented. I really love your linebacker room as well. And I think Walker is an absolute superstar stud, and he's been a superstar stud at various points in his career. We just haven't seen that consistency, and I think year 4 right here is where we're looking at it. All right, we'll get out of here after this last clip. This is just Travis Hunter doing his thing, having some fun at OTAs today. You kind of see Brian Thomas Jr. being there's a lot of Twitter jokes out there being like the big dog here. The vibes is what we talk a lot about on this channel with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I've said it numerous times. Growing up, the Jags were always an intriguing team, and being 4-13 last season, a lot of reasons for it. Whether it's Trevor Lawrence's injury, the coaching staff, just not having the best roster in general, but this new vibe, no matter what Jacksonville's record this upcoming season is, and no matter if you think Travis Hunter is actually a superstar talent or if he's more of a star talent or just going to be a good football player, having him in the building and having all this new media attention on the Jaguars team, it's beneficial. And it's just this new culture with Liam Cohn, your GM, the guy on the screen here. It feels fresh, it feels exciting, invigorating, and I can't wait to see and continue to cover OTAs for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, folks, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. I believe you guys are back at practice tomorrow, so we'll definitely get a clip out probably this time tomorrow, so we'll see you soon. But let me know down below your thoughts on day 1 OTAs for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Peace.